and then catches a glimpse of what's going on outside and isn't really interested in killing you guys.
I go for the amulet.
I go for the amulet. I go for his neck with a dagger.
You go for his neck with a dagger?
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
16 plus 4, non-nat 20.
Non-nat 20. You successfully wrestle it from Tybor's neck. In the stupor of him looking around, not knowing what's going on, he suddenly feels a weight being lifted by the amulet, and you notice something happen. Tybor, to your horror, begins to melt. You guys start to inch your way away from Siltshire, and you look back, and you're curious to why the anomalies are not following you at this very moment. And in that peace, and in that silence, you hear the screams of 80 innocent lives as they're torn to shreds by anomalies. And you guys sail away, onward, and that is the end of Siltshire. That's our first arc. Welcome back, guys. Squares, triangles, trapezoids, dirt, sand, air, water, avatar in Minecraft. Welcome back to Cragshade. We had a crazy session last week. Crazy indeed, right? A little crazy?
Just a little bit.
Yeah. But
I was drinking water.
Yeah, he was drinking water, which is good.
Stay hydrated.
I'm Dawson. I'm the little DM. I'm your little guy. That's what's your name? Get some water. You sound rough.
I'm Chris. This is Ethan. That's Hunter. Nope.
Wait, nope.
Other way around.
Nope.
Guys, can we stop recording? Did you take your medicine? Okay.
Doesn't taste good. Don't like it.
Doesn't taste good. It's bitter.
I'm Ethan. This Hunter. That's Chris.
Johnson.
We're Guys the Goblin.
Woo!
They know us.
Anyways,
let's get into this shit.
Let's get weird.
I'm running from the city where iron scrapes the sky. The garbage and neon, poison, rats and flies. The highway sign burning just outside. I'm running from the I'm running from the high. Those hellhounds feel just off my heels.
Yeah. So, hello everyone. We had a pretty interesting session last time. A lot of shit went down. We
effectively destroyed Siltshire. So congratulations on that, guys.
Well, I wouldn't
on
say
purpose. You guys did it on purpose. You wanted to see a bunch of innocent people die. There's some not so innocent.
Yeah, I mean, after the session, Chris was like, "I'm so glad that happened."
It wasn't really like him.
It was so weird and out of character.
Yeah.
His eyes turned black. And he was floating like 3 inches off the ground. When he said that.
And he said,
Chris usually does that. Right?
Yeah, he kept saying like, "Dude, feel me, feel me, feel me. Look how tense I am. Look how strong I am." Yeah, he kept saying that. He was throbbing.
Yeah, he was like, "No, do what? No, do what?"
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with him.
He kept saying he's throbbing.
Yeah. What does that even mean?
Oh,
throbbing? I guess that's a Johnson thing.
Okay.
Whoa,
all right.
Double entendre.
Okay.
All right. So to catch you up, after our session, we are leveling up in a milestone fashion with this homebrew campaign, and they are all level 4. So we always start with Ethan. We're going to start with Chris here. Chris, go ahead and explain what you did to level up, and also just let everyone know what class you are, because I don't think people know yet.
Yeah. Bors is a wild magic barbarian. now level 4, and what changed was an ability score upgrade. I chose to upgrade my Constitution by 2, raising my armor class by 1, I believe, and my health pool has also increased.
Nice.
Going to level 4, Kay was not that charismatic, so I took the actor feat, which gave him +1 into charisma. My class, that's a thing. I am an Oath of Vengeance paladin. Finally getting that charisma going.
Perfect.
Castus at level 4 took the ability score improvement. I put 2 points into my dex, putting me at a +4. Mostly because I think out of that whole ordeal that we just went through, his intelligence definitely did not go up for some of the decisions that he made. So I went dex. My class is Blood Hunter. Subclass to be announced. Still being a little secretive about that. Just because it's a little funny homebrew one. But me and Dawson cooking something up good for you folks at home. Stirring that pot. We're putting herbs, spices, people.
No, wait,
mac and cheese.
I'm not stirring. I got a skillet.
No,
you gotta flip it.
The whole thing goes up.
And you the pancake flips out. As the pan flips, you catch the pan, then you catch the pancake.
Yeah.
And then you drop it.
Yeah. And then my dad comes back and he says, I actually love you.
Don't look at me.
Yeah. Yeah. Fuck you, Hunter. No,
What?
Okay. All right, yeah, we all leveled up.
Hey, welcome back to Cragshade.
Welcome back to Cragshade. It's been really fun. And we are starting officially the second arc, which will have a really clever name to it once all is revealed.
Ooh.
But where we are leaving off, or where we're starting out, is right where we left off. So let's get right the hell into it. The wind is howling with the screams of Siltshire. As the sun sets, we find our party aboard the Black Petal sand skiff. Nobody is talking as people process the heavy shit that just went down. Isabella is holding Kikis in her lap as she leans against the center mast. She's gently stroking his hair as they share a glance of varying emotion. She starts to unwrap the bandage around his eye, tearing up as she sees the extent of her husband's injuries. Truv is crouched down with his hand on Koa's shoulder. He's intentionally hiding his injured hand with all the fingers removed behind his back to make sure he doesn't scare Koa. And he's trying to coax Koa into eating. And we see Koa up against the railing of the sand skiff, shaking with an expressionless glance, looking forward into nothing. Bors, Castus, and Kay, you are all dripping with sweat as you are walking through the setting sun, pushing the mast forward, as there's not a lot of manpower here and you guys are going uphill. You're pushing and pushing, trying not to think about what just happened, and finally you reach the crest. Before you, as you're finally able to stop, you call up to Truv, and Truv walks away from his brother for a moment and pulls the lever, forcing the brake on the wheels. The sand skiff is now stationary, and you look before you and you see a relatively flat desert scape expanding ever in front of you, but you can't see too far because the sun is setting. You guys go back up on the sand skiff, kind of collecting yourself, and there's this air of tension in the air, of complete silence. None of you have talked about what happened since it all went down. You look back towards Siltshire, about 2 to 3 miles in the distance now, and you notice something. You look at the old town that you tried to save, and you see the grist mill, which is easily viewable now that the Buckroot Tavern has been all but destroyed. You see the grist mill, and something seems different about it. It is slowly in the distance from where you guys are. It's almost changing color.
And upon further inspection, as you squint and try to make out what's happening, you see that color has texture to it. It starts at the base and it's working its way up. And then it clicks for you. You are witnessing hordes of anomaly climbing up the grist mill, encompassing all of it, as each of these anomalies are climbing on top of each other. And they're slowly, ever so slightly, reaching towards the top of the grist mill. And that's when we switch our perspective. Gwendol is running in the tight corridors of the grist mill, with anomalies spilling over each other on her heels. With her adrenaline pumping, she spots a shelf full of bags of crag dust, and she uses all of her might to grab it over and spill it as it falls with a mighty blow, and crag dust fills the air in this tight space. Her adrenaline pumps even more as her pupils dilate as she intentionally takes a dosage of Cragshade dust. She's sprinting, and as she turns around, she looks back and she sees these anomalies continuing to spill over each other over and over again, getting ever closer to her. And she screams out, "Get the fucking door!" And we look forward and we see May, tattered and bruised and bloody. Obviously some sort of stab wounds going on, some burn marks from her being in the tavern, and she's fiddling with this double-sided door, trying to push it open over and over again, but she's panicking and crying and not knowing what she's supposed to do. And finally Gwendol slams into the door, pushes May aside, and pulls on it, and it opens up. And they both spill out into this patio, and she closes it, Gwendol does, behind them, and it's May and Gwendol out on this patio overlooking the entirety of Siltshire. They are about 4 to 5 stories up, and she looks at May and she says, "It's pull, not push, you idiot," as she looks around, puts her hands to her face, and says, "Oh my fucking God. What am I gonna do?" And she looks and she sees a loose piece of plywood on the guardrail of this makeshift porch patio or this balcony. And she pulls it super quickly and is able, in this adrenaline and this high of Cragshade that she's riding right now, is able to yank it off. And she goes to the double doors and she slides the wood piece in the middle of the 2 handles. And immediately once that's complete, the doors start pounding as little anomaly arms and appendages are slipping through the cracks. And she turns to May, and May says, "Excuse me, oh my fucking God, we're gonna fucking die." And she looks down over the balcony and she sees piles and piles of anomalies scratching at each other, using each other as leverage to latch on to a little piece jutting out on the tree and latching on, and then climbing and climbing and climbing as this wave of anomalies is rising as it spills out of the rift that Castus opened. And May looks down and is panicking, and Gwendol quickly moves back towards the back where the double doors were. And May looks at her, and she says, "You fucking killed us, you stupid bitch." And they both look look at each other for a moment, and May breaks, panicking and complaining, saying, "I shouldn't have trusted a fucking slave, you wretched halfling bitch. I'm gonna die because of a fucking slave," as she stares at Gwendol with such rage and intensity. And Gwendol goes from putting her hands on her head and steadies her gaze at May, and standing towards the edge of the railing, she's looking at May as May is standing on the edge, and she says, "I won't let them kill you, May." A beat goes by. They don't deserve the satisfaction. And she proudly recites an incantation as she closes her eyes and outstretches her hand, and we switch back to you guys. We're back on the sand skiff, and you guys are watching the anomalies going farther and farther up towards the gristmill. And then you hear what sounds like the straining of giant steel cables that you'd find on a bridge. And it's this low groan that stretches and stretches and stretches, and you could hear the physical tension of whatever this is. And finally, that tension breaks. And in that moment, the dark night sky that's creeping up on you with just a little bit of sun peeking through suddenly lines up as a cone of fire emits from the gristmill, about 100 yards in length, roaring furiously towards the outside of the gristmill from the very top. And you watch it off for a moment, and before it changes direction to be pointed down towards all these anomalies, the heat of this blast reaches you guys, and you almost have to shield your faces from it because of the sudden intensity to the brightness and the heat. And you see that cone reaching outward from the gristmill and then finally pointed down, and you see hell. Everything around it is burning. For about a minute to 2 minutes, you just see that cone mowing down all of these anomalies and everything in its path. And then finally, from where you guys are, you see the source of that flame. All the while, the flame is still going on, starts to fall, and it starts to twirl. And that 100-yard cone of fire that's emitting from this source continues to spin and spin and spin in wild directions as it engulfs the entirety of Siltshire in flame. And then finally, when the source hits the ground, the cone of fire is shooting upward into the air, growing and growing in intensity as you guys have to shield yourselves from this insane fucking heat. And finally, after a moment, the fire dissipates into smoke, and there's silence. The sun has set on the wasteland. It is now nighttime, and you guys are on the sand skiff. And what do you do?
See, they had it covered.
Good.
How we feeling?
That was crazy.
You guys all right?
Well done.
That's cool. I think after seeing that, I just, if like all of us are at like the end of the sand skiff, I'll be the first to just like start grabbing the supplies that we gathered and bringing them down into the deck, just kind of not saying anything, and just start like putting stuff in boxes and barrels to preserve them for longer, and start curing any meat that hasn't been cured already. Just getting prepared.
I wanna, since we're on the subject, all three of you guys, before we start, as you're gathering everything, you guys all have been pushing this for a couple miles now, and you guys are thirsty as shit. So as you take stock of the supplies, I'm gonna just give it to you now, so you guys have it. Chris, I would like you to write this down just to keep track of it. But you have 11 loaves of sourdough. You have 3 pounds of dried raptor jerky that you picked up, which again obviously is going to be very easy to store. Mm-hmm. And then 2 medium barrels of water. And then also, as you're taking stock and putting everything away, I imagine in the little storage compartment, you notice that you have a couple bags of Cragshade dust down there still.
Okay.
But go ahead and, while you're doing this, Castus, with a flat intelligence roll, just go ahead and give me one. I'm gonna give you a reasonable expectation.
16.
16? Okay. It's a low DC. You're a math guy. Castus does math. That's canon. He's a math whiz. You have about a week and a half to 2 weeks worth of food, and just under a week's worth of water.
Okay.
Because water on the wasteland is super worthy for travel. Yeah. Obviously, you're in the hot sun. There are ways to limit your usage. But I want you guys to know, and the audience, the way this mechanic is going to work for traveling is you guys are going to have to... I don't need like a perfect plan, but I need to know if you guys are just going to be rationing carefully. Mm-hmm. And as we get lower and lower on supplies, I'm going to have you guys do constitution rolls to see if you can resist the urge to eat too much, drink too much. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of how we're going to put a little bit of survival into this. So yeah, That's just wanted to give you that exposition. I'll let you do your thing.
Yeah. After I take stock of everything, is there a map anywhere on this sand skiff?
There is a
Like a general map of the wasteland?
there is. I'm going to say the map of Cragshade that you have readily available to you. You would have as far as Moongate to the literally just the wasteland itself.
Okay.
Nothing past it. You have a crude rendition of it, and we can explore that a little bit if you'd like.
Okay. I'll grab that. I will grab a water skin.
Okay.
And fill that with water.
Yeah,
And-
the water barrels have like a little spigot on there.
Oh,
It's
cool.
super
So,
easy.
yeah, so I just
super easy.
fill that up. And I'll come back up. As I'm walking up, I'll like take a gulp for myself. And then I'll go over to Koa and hand it to him and be like, go ahead and take a big gulp for me.
You approach Koa to see a very sorry sight. He is still expressionless, shaking, not saying anything, not crying, just staring forward. You notice him approach, and he doesn't reach his arm out. He doesn't do anything.
I just pat him on the head, and I'll go over to Trev, and sit next to him, or stand, whatever he's doing.
He just got done with the break, of course, and then as you guys take stock, he's kind of just pacing to and from his brother, not knowing what to do, but he's up there on deck.
I'll kind of like gesture him then to like come over to me, and I'll just like sit and kind of pat the space next to me, and when he sits down, I'll just kind of like put the water skin in his chest.
He looks down to you and he takes a seat, and you can tell Trev has always been more of the positive variety when it comes to people on this ship, and he's going through something.
Yeah.
His eyes are sunken in. Just lost all the fingers on his right hand. He had enough of a bandage to at least stop some of the bleeding. But he is also completely out of it. And he takes the water and he takes a swig of it, shaking, puts it down and says, Castis, I am so sorry.
I like grab the water skin from him, put my hand on his shoulder,
You have to know I did not want to give you up.
and I just say, hey, if I were in your shoes, I would have sold out everybody to save him. This is not on you. This is on all of us. We were naive. We went into this thinking we could do good when we should have just looked out for ourselves. Like, put my hand on his face, kind of like put my forehead to his forehead, and just kind of give him that. And then while I'm doing that, I'll kind of like glance down at his hand, the one without the fingers. Castus is just gonna, I'll do like a medicine check if you need me to, but I just want to try to discern how far gone that hand is, basically. Like, was it bandaged well enough that like it's not going to get like infected or anything? Where at the fingers are they gone?
I'm
Like,
gonna
Is it,
yeah. Okay.
you know, like here, or is it like, you know, like at the base, or like right here?
So I'll put my little hand up here. From here to here,
Okay.
just nubs.
Okay,
He
That's-
has his thumb.
that's a good thing. Okay.
You can tell you've seen something similar. He just put his hand down, and they just
took a cleaver and just
Yep.
went.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll grab my little medical wrap, and I'll
In terms of wrapping and everything,
Mhm.
you can tell that you probably you can use a second pair of eyes on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll pull that out, and actually, do I have? Sorry. Yeah. Okay. I will pull out a little piece of parchment paper,
Okay.
or medical wrap, whatever I have that I can, and I'll just pull out this little flat, thin piece of charcoal that I use to write in my little journal.
Okay.
Do you mind if I borrow your good hand real quick?
He gives you his hand and he says, "Yeah, go for it." Yes.
So I put his hand down, spread his fingers out, and just kind of trace an outline of his good fingers. And once I do that, kind of help him brush the charcoal off of his fingers and fold it up. I'm not a very good crafter or anything, but I think I might be able to come up with something that can help replace some of those fingers.
I know I've told you this before, but I used to be a crafter by trade as well. It will be hard to do this without my fingers, but if you think you can do something, I will not say no. I appreciate this, Castus.
Of course.
More than you know.
You can assist me if you'd like. They are going to be your fingers, so.
I just need the right materials.
Okay.
But Castus, I focus on fingers later.
Oh, yes.
I don't know what to do about Koa.
I think Koa just needs some time, and I think
I broke him.
I don't think so. I think I have seen children in a similar state.
He watched him cut my fingers off.
I think he just needs time. Trust me. Your job right now is to get him to drink some water and to eat some food and to go to sleep. It's going to take a while for him to process this. He is a kid. His brain is not meant for this. His brain is meant to see wonders and play outside with friends. But the world we find ourselves in does not allow this. And it will get better. This will make him harder to get to, but he will come out of this stronger.
I don't want him to be stronger. I just want him to be happy.
And he will one day. But right now he needs you more than anyone. Do not talk. You don't have to ask him what's wrong. He doesn't want to hear that. He just needs you next to him, and a hand on his shoulder, a person to look at, something. So just go be with your brother. And fingers will come later, trust me. It will take me a while. But I think I kind of pull the little map out. I think I have a decent heading and plan. I'm going to go bring it up to the rest, but
I don't have the energy for it today. But if you talk with them, tell them this is not what I wanted. I couldn't.
I put my hand on his shoulder again. Hey, look at me. All of us. would die for Koa. You did what you had to do. That is your blood. That is your brother. I would do the same for mine. Go. And then as he's walking away, I'll kind of go see Isabella after Koa falls asleep. Get your medical wraps changed. And just turn, walk up to you guys.
Let's say while all that's going on, Boars is not on the sand skiff. If you look around, you don't see him. And if you take a moment to locate where he would be, he's off the skiff, and he's about halfway through digging a grave.
Damn.
I'll if I clock that, I think I would go to him first. So I'll hop off the skiff, kind of start walking behind him. Hey, Big Red. I just kind of put the water skin in your chest. Take a big gulp. Just one.
He stops like digging when you put the water in front of him. He just looks at you, and he looks at the water, and then he kind of like turns his back to you and just keeps digging. Okay.
I'll pull the water skin back. I'll put it on my hip. Do I see Phoebes at all?
The body would be with me, yeah.
Okay. I'll get down on my knees. And she like, like for dead body's sake, like, like a blanket or something over her.
Y'all had extra tarp from the melted sand skip that you pulled from the sails.
That piece of tarp that's over her, I'll kind of like tuck around her body, make it like tight, and I'll pull out some of my thread, just like from like the pin, just kind of, if you like even clock it while you're digging, just like a little thin blue ethereal piece of thread that just seems to come out from nowhere. And I just kind of sew the tarp closed, making sure it's like tight around her. And then I'll pull out, we have money, right?
There's not really a money system in this world. It's bartering.
Then I'll pull out.
Crag dust is kind of money.
Yeah, that's right. I'll pull out my dice set that I have on me. And I'll just kind of take 2 of the dice, kind of like place it on the chest. And then I'll kind of help like lift her up and kind of walk her closer to the grave and begin to help Boars kind of like dig it out some more.
It's not a bad roll. Sorry.
She explodes.
Yeah, she explodes. Sorry. Yeah, you never buried anyone, so no.
It might not be much, but this is where I'm from. We bury the dead with something that they may give once they make it to the other side.
As you're talking, you hear from above. You hear Isabella say, "Hey, are you gonna be down there for a minute?" There's not like a rush there. She just
like look at the hole that Boars is currently like. Do you have are you just like hand digging this?
Yeah,
sure
hand
have
and some
okay.
sort of
sure
shovel.
we have
Yeah.
a spade.
Okay, yeah.
She says, do you need help?"
Honestly, if you have a flower or something,
I'll be there.
that's all we need.
Okay, real quick, where are you on the skiff, just location wise?
I am on the sand back up against
One of the wheels?
yeah. And,
It moves and no, I'm just kidding.
and just from a distance I'm just like staring at this burial.
Okay. You see, after a moment of you guys down there,
You hear someone going down the ladder. You, Kay, hear some footsteps, and you see Isabella walking past you down to the rest of them. And as she passes you, she looks at you, and she hands you a very simplistic flower that was crafted from the one of the sacks of food. Very simplistic. And she says, "You're not missing out on this. Come here." And she pulls you to everybody.
Would assume, 5 minutes pass and me and Boars together dig the grave, and I'll help Boars kind of like lower her in, and Isabella has made some flowers.
You and Isabella walk up on a scene in the middle of the sand of Castus finishing up the preparation of making sure that Phoebes is properly put away in this cover that he crafted. And Bors is sitting there leaning up against his shovel, emotionless, seemingly. We'll let him explain that momentarily. Isabella walks you up towards the hole of the grave, and just looks at Phoebes, looks down at the pit, gets a quick glance. You notice her looking at you with a bunch of emotions, and bows her head down and just stares at the hole.
I do the exact same, just blankly staring into the hole. So many thoughts and ideas running through the head, none of which are coherent, just staring.
I assume all of you knew her. Would any of you like to say something?
No. And I take the flower and lightly toss it in the grave and slowly turn around and just like walking, I guess, towards the skiff.
As you're walking back, Isabella says, "Okay."
I stop with my back turned.
I don't know you all that well. Tybal gave you a choice, and you picked her. An impossible choice, and I can empathize with that. But you owe it to her to stay until this is done. If it were you, and you were chosen, I bet you'd hope at least someone would stay.
I turn around. You don't know anything about me. If I was dead back there, if I wasn't the one who... If I was the one dead, I would hope you leave me there, leave my body, pick up your shit, and you run. It's just not about me. I'm dead. What more is there? Nothing. Nothing.
She's like taken aback, takes a moment to collect herself, looks over at Bors and Castus, shakes her head. Who hurt you?
You said his name back in the mines. Min.
What did he take from you?
What didn't he? He killed my parents. And now today I found out that the one place where I thought was safe isn't. So he took my home, my family, the people I knew, and now he took my second home.
Kay. I'm sorry.
I storm off, walking behind the sand skiff, like just getting behind so that they can't see me. I'm not going up on deck and looking at or interacting with anybody else. I'm just gonna stand there, and then slouch down up against the skiff sitting on the sand, and then just be listening.
Within earshot.
I will step forward and just kind of head down, close my eyes, and I'll say just like a quick poem in Giant, and just recite that very like solemnly, and then
What are you trying to convey with the poem? What does the poem convey? You don't have to come up with one on the fly, but what's the theme?
I think I just say the like poem of my brotherhood, which I can read off.
Please.
You guys wouldn't understand what it says unless you speak Giant.
Any of you guys speak Giant?
But
No.
in Giant, I say, in realms where darkness veils the sky, where stars in silence softly cry, we walk guided by your grace, bound by thread we leave this place. Guard the path bathed in light, save your strength lest we fight, our weapons held high, bound by thread we will die. In rebirth we will meet at last, the pain that fills us now has passed, souls freed from eternal dread, we remain forever, bound by thread. And I pull a pin from not my own, but from another person. The one that I was traveling with prior, and I toss it into the grave with her.
Give me a Constitution saving throw. Not combat related.
14. Weight saving throw. 14.
14.
Yeah.
Give me a moment.
13 plus 1.
As you are reciting this poem, and as you're looking at the body of someone you didn't know very well, but still respected, you are met with trauma visions of you holding your father, in between you trying to get through this poem, and flashes of a chaotic battlefield, sounds and screams and explosions and death and blood and gore, but in a little bubble is you and your father. He's mortally wounded, and you're looking down on him as you're holding him as he's about to let go. Tears are in your eyes, and you remember what he said. A soldier does not cry for one they have lost. They fight, so they do not die in vain. And you remember those words from your father as you struggle through the poem. What do you do?
Finish the poem, toss the pin in, like I said. And I'll turn to Isabella and kind of give her like a nod. And I'll turn to Boars and kind of start to turn to like walk away, put a hand on your shoulder, and kind of like go to say something, and then just give you a pat and just say, you're a good man. And then I will walk over to Kay, if I can find him, just kind of follow the way that he went, and won't say anything, just walk up, I sit next to you, and I take the water skin off, put it in your chest.
You're met with the glow of the slow burning of Siltshire in the distance behind you.
And then, if you take it,
Yeah.
as he takes a swig, I'll just look at Siltshire in the distance, and then just kind of not looking at him, staring at the glow. If it was you that died back there, we would have dragged you out and buried you too. And then I'll just stand up, grab the water skin from you, and then just kind of give a quick look around the scene. Just around us, just the sand, the night sky, the glow, just the smoke. And when they are done, meet me up deck. Not just head up to the top.
Isabella is still down there. At this point, the body has not been buried. It's still laying there. Did you guys already drop it in?
No, we dropped it.
You dropped it in?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Isabella sits there for a moment and says to Boars, Can you tell me about her?
Not as much as I would like.
I cannot speak for Phoebes here, but I can speak for them. And she motions towards Siltshire. None of us deserve this. I remember the feeling of the cool breeze in Siltshire. I remember the leaves rustling above my buckroot home
I remember Kikis laughing. I remember my parents at the tavern, drinking and celebrating my 30th. It's not fair. None of it. It's just not fair. But right there, what you said, you didn't know her as well as you'd like to. That is something we can control. That is what we must do. You saved. All of you. You saved me and Kikis. That is a debt I will never be able to repay. The next time someone dies, I'm going to make sure I know them. And I hope you do too. And she puts a hand on your shoulder and starts moving the dirt over. And before Phoebes is officially buried, is there anything you'd like to say or do?
Help remove the sand over Phoebe's body and then take one handful of sand at the end when she's thoroughly buried and reach over and drop it. And in Goblin, in his native tongue, he will say, "Desert take you," and look over at Isabella. So, tell me about yourself.
Attaboy. I've lived in Siltshire since before I was born. You see, that tiny town there, it used to be so much larger before the unraveling. My brothers and sisters would climb trees and get up to no good. I was a gardener, and I had one of the most beautiful collections of corn you've ever seen in your life. Me and my friend, Clara, would get up to no good, stealing crops from the neighbors and having fun. But the one thing I guess you could know about me is I look out for my own. What about you?
I fear the desert winds have eroded much of who I once was. I don't know anymore.
Who did you used to be?
A man who makes mistakes.
Are you still that man?
I fear I am.
I saw you with one arm save not only your companion, but the body of a late one.
Everything out here is a mistake, Bors. I look at you and I don't see someone who makes mistakes. I see someone who's making up for all the ones you've made. If one thing can come of all of this horrible world we live in, we get to start over to a degree. And that's a chance that you gave to me and Kikis. You all did that. Two is better than none.
You ever feel like it's too much?
I can say I have, watching what they did to Kikis, what they did to my friends and family, living with that, and the state Kikis is in, never being able to tell him what I'm going through, making sure he sees his happy, supportive wife so he can keep on living. Yeah. It's too much. I'm unequivocally blessed to have my husband here alive, family, and I don't know what happened with you, but there's got to be some reason why we're fucking here. I don't know.
Everything that we have been through.
Did you, what, if I'm gonna roll an insight check towards you, what do I have to beat? What am I fighting against? Would that just be
I don't know,
wisdom,
but-
Constitution, or
No, it's
just roll
deception.
it? Deception.
Is-
Okay.
If you're trying to deceive her, or if he's
No,
not, then it
no,
would just
he's
be
not.
a straight DC
Yeah.
with lower or a straight insight with lower
Give
DC.
me a DC for just a flat DC of unlocking a little bit of what you have going on.
I think he's very much in a vulnerable state presently, so maybe a 10, honestly.
Okay. That is lower than a 10. She looks at you, searches your eyes, and says, whatever. Do you think all of this is your fault?
I think that is enough for today.
Understood. There's she gestures back over to Siltshire. That light is a beacon. We shouldn't stay long. And she walks back towards the skiff. And we're all back on the skiff, I assume? Okay.
I'm on the deck, put together like a little makeshift table with like barrels and boxes and stuff. And I have the map that I found laid out with like a little, like dice or cup, something small that represents like where we are.
North of Siltshire.
Yeah. And once I see everyone kind of coming up, I'll call them over. I found this map down in the storage. From my guesses, this is us. And to our east, northeast, there is a place called Silverglade. And then toward our north, a little bit past the mountains, is Dusthaven. Now, from what we have down in storage, we have about 2 weeks of food and a week and a half or week of water. And that's if we ration very, very small. Now, we can grit our teeth and bear through, and we can move straight to Dusthaven, or we can hit Silverglade, restock there, rest, and move to Dusthaven from there. Now, what I do know about Silverglade is not much, but I know that it used to be a place for the wealthy, like a vacation spot of sorts. So,
Okay, go ahead and give me a history check to see if you know of anything of Silverglade after the unraveling. But you are correct, Ethan.
12.
12. You know that you heard whispers on the wasteland of the Silverglade. To what Ethan was saying before, was a place for rich and the wealthy and a vacation spot of sorts. Very much a tourist town to some degree. But all you know from whispers on the wasteland is that the lake of Silverglade, the Silverglade Lake, is completely dried up now. And you can assume with it the major civilization that was there before. So,
no. I know that going there probably runs the risk of running into more bandits, plague stalkers even, but I think the risk of all of us starving might be greater. If we can get in, find some shelter, and just rest in teams of 2, go out into the city, see if we can find anything, just to restock. I think that might be our best move.
If there's anything even there.
This is true. If anything, we could probably find some stuff there that we could barter or trade with for when we do reach Dusthaven. I don't think we really have anything of value as of right now. But when we get to Dusthaven, we're going to need food, water, and I do not have anything on me that could buy me some of that. But this is just my opinion. What do you think?
Trev and Isabella are also present. Koa is still in that state of mind. Kikis is curled up in the little center mast teepee, just sleeping like a cute little guy that he deserves, you know. Isabella says, where do any of you need to go anywhere? Homestead.
Honestly,
What's in Homestead? Is Min in Homestead?
Potentially. The only thing I got was that the shifters are there.
I do remember in my time there, they did supply a fair amount of resources for Siltshire. I couldn't tell you what they look like,
other than there was a decent amount of them, and every time they'd come in, sometimes we'd get fresh bread and more water. So they have supplies. That's all I can say about them.
Okay.
Trav chimes in. I remember me and Castus were talking about going to Munruk. I don't have much of a reason to go anywhere, so I'm along for a ride. But
Yes. I
know I don't want to starve.
starving would not be great. In an ideal world, we hit Silverglade, and they just happen to have supplies and stuff to trade with. From there, we go to Dusthaven. We eat, we rest, we get our wounds tended to. We figure out information, whatever we can, if there's a way through the mountains. If there isn't, we could go north more. If not, we might have to travel down south and around Erindor or Eloria. Move straight to Eloria, but that is ground zero for plague stalkers. So really, that's out of the question. I think.
Can I have my shield back?
Well, oh yeah. Forgot to add that. Yeah. But I think our best move is, no matter what, we go to Dusthaven. We figure out what we can. We get some information. Maybe figure out what's going on in Homestead. Figure out the state of Moonrook, if it's even the place worth going. I need to send a message when we arrive in Dusthaven and figure out my orders from there.
Orders? Isabel chimes in.
Yes.
Orders from where?
I am a part of a group that is investigating a lot, mainly the unraveling, and that is all I can really say right now.
Are you with New Athakine?
No, I am not.
Are you with the Shifters? Are you with the Montaigne Republic?
I once was, but that has changed.
Do you know how many of people I know and love died by the hands of the Montaigne Republic, that engineered spell that created all this mess, that created the wasteland?
Do you know how many people I watched die to a spell created by the Wastelanders? Do you know how many people I heard scream? How many people's bodies I watched bubble and explode as they tried to cast simple healing spells to heal their friends and family as the entire kingdom crumbled around them?
Seems like we are on the same side then. And we'll cut to break there.